My boss stole credit for my work, so I let him take the fall. The day my boss fired me for a mistake I didn't make was the day I decided I was done protecting him. I had worked at the company for almost 4 years, and during that time, I had built one of our biggest client projects from scratch. My boss, Daniel, loved taking credit for my work, but I never complained because I thought staying professional would eventually get me noticed. Then came the biggest project our department had ever handled. I spent 3 months working late, fixing problems, preparing presentations, and making sure everything was ready. When the project succeeded, Daniel walked into the CEO's office and presented it as his own. I said nothing. A week later, however, the client discovered a serious issue with one of the reports. Daniel immediately blamed me. He called me into his office and said, "You made the mistake. Fix it, or you're out." I knew the report wasn't mine. Daniel had changed the numbers himself before presenting them to the client. I tried explaining, but he had already decided who he wanted to blame. The next morning, HR called me in and told me I was being terminated. Daniel stood nearby, looking completely satisfied. I packed my things without arguing. But before leaving, I handed HR a folder. Inside were months of emails, project files, version histories, meeting notes, and messages showing exactly who had created and changed every part of the project. I hadn't collected them to destroy Daniel. I had kept them because I always documented my work. 2 weeks later, I received a call from the CEO. He asked me to come back for a meeting. Apparently, the company had reviewed the files and discovered that Daniel had repeatedly taken credit for other employees' work and had personally altered the report that caused the client problem. He was removed from his position and asked to leave the company. The CEO apologized for firing me and offered me my old position back with a promotion. I thanked him but declined. During those 2 weeks, another company had contacted me after seeing my portfolio. They offered me a better position, a higher salary, and something my old company had never given me: credit for my work. Months later, I heard Daniel was struggling to find another job after several former employees came forward about his behavior. I didn't celebrate it. I didn't need to. My revenge had already happened the moment the truth spoke for itself. I walked away with a better career, a better salary, and my reputation intact. Daniel had spent years stealing credit to look successful. In the end, I didn't have to take anything from him. I simply stopped covering for him, and he finally had to face the consequences of his own choices.